Hi, it's Nancy welcoming you to Garden Scroll.
Today is December the 12th, and I finally did get some of these profusion zinnias that had already turned dark. So I don't know for sure what colors they are, but I know that these are orange, shades of yellow, and pink. So they'll be pretty whether they're all together or I'll have some that are just the colors, that particular colors I want, but I like a few surprises in the garden too. So I'll have these, and I'll pull those petals off, and the seed is of course right at the end of the petal, and I'll put that away for next spring when we'll be planting again. So, but I wanted to show you that I did get a container, three. No, I didn't get this container. I already had this container. This just came in the little grow pot, but isn't this lovely? There's one at my doctor's office that's gorgeous. I had one of these once before. Of course I killed it, but I'm hoping not to do that to this one. I know that they work better for me in a clay pot, so that's what it has. And I just hope to get this one to be as gorgeous as the one I saw, maybe even more in years to come, should I get to have those years to come. And this, do you know this is a begonia? My sister-in-law said, "That's a begonia," and I said, "That's a begonia." I should have known because I'm so drawn to them, and this one just caught my eye. So I'm actually going to try to grow this little begonia. She let me have, actually there is a huge plant. This was just one little leaf off of it, so I took the leaf, and it does have a bit of a stem too. I put that in this soil, and I'm going to see if I can get it to root. I hope I can. That would be great. So, and I saw in one little clip that someone else put on that you can like slice this little plant, and it will put down root and grow from there. I think that was Rex begonias that I saw, but I'm supposing that or assuming that this will happen for this one. Maybe, I'm certainly hoping it will. They also did put like a clear plastic across it too, like saran wrap, something like that. So I'm going to try that and see if I can get one of these to grow. I just think it's gorgeous. You probably think it's just so ordinary, but I've never ever seen a begonia this big. My begonias, I let them go at the end of this season. I don't try to save them. No, actually I have tried to save them. They don't work for me. But I'm going to see if this one will. Just too gorgeous to pass up. I also wanted to say that I did get to see the Barbie collection that was shown at the museum in McLeod, Oklahoma, where my sister-in-law actually, she is one of the ones that heads it up, and she and her husband help take care of that. But they had a friend who had a collection of Barbie dolls that she let them set up. They were so gorgeously set up, and it was just a very wonderful experience to get to see all those dolls. And I hope you enjoyed the movie, but I mean, honestly, I thought they could have done so much more with it, because it's Barbie after all. You know, she's just went through so many different girls and so many different social classes, and she's just kind of been there for us for so many years. And I never had a Barbie, but that doesn't mean that I don't love Barbie, because, you know, can be a friend, she can be a career girl, she can be just a fashion model, she can help you imagine the most gorgeous outfits. She just can help you to tell a story in your mind about this girl, and she's just been wonderful, and I think they could have done much more with it. Okay, I think she was a lot more than a vagina even, you know, even though she didn't have one, but they made her have one at the end of the movie, which I suppose that's fine, but I just don't think that's the greatest they could have done with it. I think there was so much more to Barbie. And I might even go ahead as far as to add that her excitement about seeing her gynecologist was definitely unsurpassed to anyone else's, because I don't know of anyone else that gets excited about going to see their gynecologist. And I'm glad they're around and we have help, like with a difficult childbirth or any of those things, but it's just not an exciting thing. So there's my 2 cents for what it matters. Probably not 2 cents. I will say I did like Billie Eilish's song. You know, where she said, I thought I had it all figured out, but now I'm not sure. And that's pretty much the way life is. Like Dr. James Dobson once said when he was young and popular, but he would tell people about their children and say that we had our children all figured out, and then we had, I forgot which son it was, their 3rd son or whatever, and it was just nothing like the others. It was a whole different game. So, and that's the way life is, and we're sure in some circumstances in life, but then sometimes when those circumstances change, we find ourselves unsure of what we believed in, because we find, different ways, different perspectives to look at things. But I'm still that God is the same yesterday, today, and forever. Or Jesus Christ, the same yesterday, today, and forever. And that God is love, and that, what does it say? In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. And heaven and earth shall pass away, but my word shall not pass away. So we want to hold on to something that'll be with us through all the changes, that will remain unchanged forever. Today is December the 13th, and I brought my little froggy or tiger paws Rex begonia outside so you can see. Well, one thing, because it's a beautiful day, as far as we're getting a little bit of rain, kind of misty. Okay, I love a rainy day, but it's well above freezing, so I don't know if it will be tonight. I think it will, though. Actually, I think it's just going to get down in the 40s. But right now it looks good. And under my lights, this little plant looks kind of orange, which is actually pretty. But in reality, it's just beautiful shades of green all mingled together. But this little begonia has been the healthiest, most hardy plant for me. Not only does it make it outside all summer long, it usually, or has been, making it through the winter in my house. And it's just kept going and going. I want to see how far it'll keep going, how big and beautiful it might be able to get. So if you're looking for a Rex begonia that you think you can't really do Rex begonias, this one has been the easiest for me, and it's very beautiful. So of course I had to bring out my favorite Rex begonia, which is this Polymer Prince. I hope you think it's as beautiful as I do. I'm just so enthralled with it. It's such a beauty. It just, these beautiful curly leaves. Now, it is not as hardy as the other plant that I just showed you, the tiger paws or froggy. It has two different names that I know of, maybe more than that. but it is a beauty, it's the first Rex begonia that I actually thought I wanted to try, and then it died on me, so I gave it, well, actually the first one I knew would die on me, so I gave it to my nephew, and it died for him, and he usually does much better with plants than I do. I like to give them to him if I think I can't get it to live, but I tried again after learning to put it in a clay pot so that it never sets in water. They dissipate right out of this little pot, so it's never just setting in water, and that has helped a great deal. Now, whether or not I'll actually be able to keep it until it gets some gigantic form, I don't know how big it will get, but hopefully we'll find out. And it's just a beauty. And it certainly has not started failing me yet this season, but of course the season is barely into the winter season. It has a long time to stay inside in my house before it comes back out to be in God's sunshine and nurturing. But I hope it makes it. It's December the 15th, and I am still trying to knock out these iris blades. This right here is a daylily, but all around it there were irises, and so I have those trimmed off, but not very far. You can see they're all here and all the way up or down this row. So I'm going to try to get a few of them done today. I probably won't get very much done actually, because I still have other things that I need to do today. There is actually still some color and some beauty in the garden, but of course it's surrounded by other things that have pretty much gone for the winter. This little bridal spirea often has some beautiful color for the fall. Sometimes it just looks like sequins dancing in the breeze, just in time for Christmas. And last night we did get a wonderful winter rain. I'm sure these little pansies loved that. I think we got right at 1.5 inches. It won't be long till all the color is gone. But for now, look at this beautiful little hydrangea. An oak leaf hydrangea. And I'm so glad it's still going. It's still very small. But it's been here now for, I think this is its 3rd year. Actually, next season may be its 4th season in the garden. That's great. I know that sometimes the Dusty Miller actually makes it through the winter. I don't expect these to. They're in such a shallow little pot. And you know, we haven't had a whole lot of winter weather yet, so they'll probably be gone by spring. But sometimes they actually do make it through the winter. And I am rather surprised at how much the petunias are still green. I was thinking they probably would be gone just shortly after, if not along with these profusion zinnias. But they're still trying to go. They will go, though. They will be gone. But you can see they're putting on seed. Let me see if you can kind of focus into this one little seed. And they'll all, here's a whole bunch on this one. Let me get it. But some of these will just burst open and drop down and come back next spring. And then some of the others, I will actually come out here and get them and sprinkle them down where I want them. You just prepare the soil and then just sprinkle them down and kind of tap them in a little bit, but don't cover them. They need the sun to help them to germinate. And these are little seedlings from my Bells of Ireland, which they probably, I'm sure they will die also. But I'm hoping that there are still some seeds that have not germinated and came up and put on a little foliage for me. And I hope they will do it in the spring when they can live, and I'll have some more out here in this little seed box. That's the hope. And I'm happy with this little perennial alyssum. This is just in a tiny little pot. Let me see if I can get down there and show you how small it is. But it just proliferated all over itself. It may not live in this little tiny pot though through the winter, but look what it's done. It's put some new little starts out beside it, and they're in the ground, which hopefully will make them be able to survive, and maybe this one even will, which would of course be great. And so far my little miniature rose is doing great. I hope it lasts through the winter. I think it will. I certainly hope it will, to come back and shine next spring. Of course the hostas are pretty much gone now, but most likely most likely they will be back too next spring. They will come up, of course, just from the root, or from the, I don't know if it's a bulb or a rhizome that they're on, but they will come back. And I'll take all of this old dead stuff off in the spring, but I'm going to leave it now because it does help them to keep them warmer and protect them somewhat from the elements. So I'm going to leave them there, and then this spring I will take all this off, and you will probably be able to see early in the spring the little nubbins when they begin to come back up again. They have been coming up even in these smaller pots. They've been coming right back, which is definitely the hope. This is a pretty yellow green, more toned yellow actually. It's just unique and very pretty. Okay, I'm moving right along on trimming the iris blades back, but I don't know if it's fast enough for me to finish everything today. There's some behind that little scooter thing that I've been riding along. But yeah, there's still quite a bit, but I'm going to give it a try. I thought I wouldn't even try, but I got this far, and that just makes me want it done. So we'll see. It may not happen. It may. And in the process, I also found some beautiful color I want to show you. The sun was out a little bit earlier, and it was really looking great. But hopefully it'll still be pretty for you. It's so nice to see beautiful color in the garden. And this is the St. John's wort bush. I lost part of it. It's kind of scraggly looking in front, but maybe it'll come back, or this will fill out. And this part is still pretty. And this is the Indian coralberry bush. Well, it's getting late, but I'm done with the irises. And even down here at the end of this, of course, I had a bunch of red strawberry fields plant, the Gumprina, and I also went ahead and took that out. I did, of course, leave some little ones to make seed for next year, so hopefully we'll still have more. Today is December the 30th. Tomorrow is New Year's Eve, and so I wanted to come out and put up my little sign, which I should have put it up, I guess, on the 21st, which was actually when winter came on the calendar. But at least it's there now, and we're getting ready to take a long winter's nap, or at least a short winter's nap. When I left you last, I had just finished cleaning out the last of the iris as far as clipping them back, and I had previously clipped out the peonies, and those are the two things that I always want most of all to get out of the garden in the fall before spring comes. So everything else may have to wait till spring, and it will be right up on us. I used to think winter was so long and spring would never get here, but now there's so much work to do that winter is not usually long enough for me to get really relaxed. But I am so happy for the garden that I have, the garden that I've experienced, the garden, and have hope for another garden. So we'll just see how things will go and try to trust in the Lord for everything. He's definitely been good to me. He's good to all of us. He does love us, and He will guide us through life's hardships, and sometimes that's hard to realize when you're right bogged down into it all. But you can always, if you keep going, you can look back and see the hand of God in all that we do. So I hope you had a nice Christmas. We did. It was wonderful as far as we got to visit our family, several of our family. We totally wore ourselves out, that's for sure, and we're grateful to have some time of rest from just driving and riding around and visiting. But it was wonderful. I wouldn't want to take any of it back. So good to be with our children for a little bit, and just to feel the spirit of Christmas and the spirit of love and hope. So now it's time to make New Year's resolutions. I always make the same one. It's always to lose weight, and I've never found anything that's actually worked for very long. But I saw something on my Facebook the other day. Someone had put, you always make a resolution to change yourself. Why not this year make a resolution to be yourself? So I like that. I would like, sometimes they say, God made me this way, but I have a feeling He did not make me fat. So I think that was some of my own doing, and just also, put credit where credit's due. Satan gets credit for all the ugly things in the world, and I think sometimes we use food to console ourselves for some of the things he does. But God is good, and we're growing and changing each season of our life. So we just have to do the best we can and just truly be ourselves. I was kind of focusing on this plant. Today is very pretty. It's in the 50s, but it's going to be our last pretty day for a while, and I don't know if we'll have snow or just some really cold temperatures. But this is one plant. This is the Autumn Joy sedum. It makes these pretty umbels, and in the fall they're covered with little tiny flowers that make one big umbrella flower. And this is a beautiful plant in the snow because it catches all the snow that builds up on top of it, and it's able to hold it up there, and it can make a very pretty picture. If we have some good snows, I'll try to get this picture for you. Are you looking at the pictures on my Instagram and Facebook? I try to put one on there each day for you. My niece has a Facebook page, or actually it's a YouTube page, or maybe it's probably both, but she said they feel like they will reach 40,000 subscribers this year before the new year. So that's great. But I'm excited that I went up this this season, this year of 2023, up to 200, and right now I think it's 56. So that's exciting to me. But yes, I would love to reach some of those higher numbers and to share with more people and just be, well, my friend at church calls me a YouTube sensation. So, it may sound funny, but I do have a goal and a hope, and I do want to reach that. And I just want to take this time to thank everybody that's done anything for my channel, as far as to like, to comment. I love all of your comments that I've seen on there. And of course, when you subscribe and then when you share it with someone else. So hopefully we'll keep it going as long as I'm able to do it. And we never did get this fixed from last year's erosion, and I want to do that, and I want to put some gravel beneath it this time in hope that it will hold it up without it eroding when we have some spring rains, because definitely I hope we do have those spring rains. But I wanted to say that I feel good about the year of 2023, and by the time you get this, we'll already be in the year of 2024. I'm hoping that, well, first of all, I just want to thank God for the blessing that we just had this past year, and to give Him the glory and honor for it, and also to ask Him to be with us in this year of 2024.
Please be sure to like and to subscribe to the channel.